Is it on? Hey guys, I actually came back to the school today so I could help you out with this timeline project that I put on the school site, my classroom site. So if you don't remember, we are going to start from scratch as far as what goes where, what era belongs to what time, and what event fall. Where do the different events fall on the timeline? So let's get started. Let's begin with our timeline. Now remember, on the assignment, I said you can represent it however you want. So please feel free to do it in a paper format. If you can find a way to do it digitally, wherever your skill set lies, that's what I want you to do. Okay, so first things first, let's draw the timeline. We're going to start here and go here. Now remember, timeline is linear. Now you can make a timeline up and down, side to side, it doesn't matter, but the events are going to go from farthest back to now. Now if you recall, the first item on our timeline was 1898. Remember that? Can you see that? It's the Spanish-American War. I may have to find a better Sharpie. Let's try this one. Or Expo. 18. That one's dead too. $1898. Spanish-American War. Now, I don't want to give you too many details about each one because I want you to do the work yourself. I want you to research the Spanish-American War. There should already be a Marquez reading online to help you out. So take your time, go back through the Marquez readings that I attached to the classroom site. Take a look and get people in your house to help you out. Next item is going to be 1870 to 1900. What is that? That's right, that is the Gilded Age. Also known as the Industrial Revolution or the Second Industrial Revolution. Next, 1900 to 1920. What is that? That's right, Progressive Era. Remember, the Progressive Era, they're attempting to fix the problems that accumulated during the Gilded Age. And then in that Progressive Era time frame, we also had our First World War, World War One. And that was what? That's right, 1914 to 1918. 1919, if you want to add when they signed the Treaty of Versailles. But right now, we'll leave it in 1914 to 1918. And then a time of prosperity. Good times, good times. 1920 to 1929. And that should be pretty self-explanatory as far as what we call that era. That is the Roaring Twenties. Okay, and that comes to a crashing halt. 1929, October of 1929, which is going to last 10 years, 1929 to 39. And that is the Great Depression. (1929 to 1939), Great Depression. One president loses his job, another president becomes a bit of a hero during this time period. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only president to be elected that's right, count them 4 times. Okay, 1939, through his New Deal, he tries to get America back on its feet, but it's really brought out of the Great Depression by what? That's right, World War II, which is 1939 to 1945. And that's the rise of dictators in Europe, including Hitler, Stalin, Francisco Franco, Mussolini, Duce as well. 1945, the war is over. 2 bombs were dropped on 2 Japanese cities, bringing an end to the war. But then we were going to go for a very long Cold War period, which is 1947 to 1991. It's the Cold War, with two proxy wars mixed into that time period. Let's call one 1950 to 1953, Korean War, and 1965 to 1975, which is the Vietnam War. Both proxy wars fought to stop the spread of communism. The fear of falling dominoes, the domino theory, saying if we allowed communism to in fact affect one country, the other countries around it would fall like dominoes. All right, also in there, 1954 to 1968, that would be the Civil Rights Movement. Beginning with 1954, Brown versus Board of Education, and 1968, the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And what are we missing? We've got there should be 12 items total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last one, 2008. And that is the election of the first African American president. Election of Barack Obama. Now, there are 1,000 different things that we could put on this timeline, but we want to get this 12 essential eras and conflicts and events. All right, now how you choose to present these. Now, with each one of these eras, I don't want the timeline to be just like this. I want you to have enough space between each era and each event to give me a short synopsis, a short summary of each era or event. Okay, so with for instance, the Spanish-American War, you're going to give me a who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who was involved? Spain and the United States. What happened? We fought Spain, gained colonies in order to expand our sea power, blah, blah, blah. But you need to give me 4 or 5 sentences for each one for each event. I'm going to give you enough time to complete this project, so don't rush through it and send me something herky-jerky. Make sure it's complete and you put some ideas into it, and also put it in your own words as best you can. In your own words is going to give you a higher score every time. Now remember, every day I'm on a video chat and available for you to click in, ask me questions, and click out. Now, if you'd like to have a full-on class during this time period, I would love that. So if you have any questions, I have a Google number on the class site, and I will be there every day, 10:30 to 12:20, 1:10 to 3 p.m. So hopefully I'm going to leave you little excuse to not take care of this. Any questions? All right. Have a great period of isolation. Bye, kids. Miss ya.